Join your hosts AJ Paredes and Eric Baclick for another session of PICQS APC Talks Channel. Patch, as engineer Anthea Valdez joins the virtual studio all the way from Singapore. We will share with you the pathway of becoming a certified professional, the importance of structured trainings, as well as Thea's own APC journey firsthand. Exciting things await you all on Saturday, 19 February, 8 p.m. Manila time. See you!
Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, everyone. I'm Arlene Joy Paredes, your AJ, current president of PICQS Singapore chapter, and I am delighted and excited to be your host for our 10th session of Patch. So, Patch is PICQS APC Talks channel, aiming to provide overviews about chartered and certified professionals' APC journey, PICQS structured trainings, and every quantity surveyor's road to becoming QS professionals to maximize their career potential. For those who are not so familiar with PICQS, Philippine Institute of Certified Quantity Surveyors is an all-Filipino QS organization with a global reach. In a span of a decade, PICQS has formed 12 chapters around the globe in Philippines, UK, UAE, Oman, Qatar, Bahrain, KSA, North America, Singapore, New Zealand, Australia, and the recently formed chapter BIM Indochina. Our members are mostly QS trained engineers, architects, and other allied profession practicing the quantity surveying globally, and we have structured trainings to patch up the required competencies towards exponential career growth. So this February marks our 10th patch session and the first for the year 2022 from its live launch last February 2021. So, allow me to introduce my partner for this evening's session, who is currently the head of Global Communications Committee, a well rounded, dedicated, and determined quantity surveyor with background in civil engineering, an associate member of PICQS, and an associate member for Philippine Institute of Arbitrators, or PR. So, without further ado, please share the virtual stage with me, Engineer Eric Baklig. Ayan. Hi, Eric. Good evening.
Hello, AJ, and good day to all our viewers across the globe. Thank you for
Yes.
having me again for this patch session. It is really an honor. And you know what, AJ, I'm very excited to know more about our guest for today and how she were able to conquer adversities and succeed in her journey in APC and quantity surveying.
Agree with you. But before we introduce our featured guest for tonight, I'm very excited because this patch session is the first session which is aired in our multiple social media accounts of PICQS. Right, Eric?
Yeah, that's true, AJ. We were able to connect to our Facebook page, and we are being viewed by our followers.
Yes, Facebook page, our LinkedIn page, and also our YouTube channel,
Mhm.
Patch with PICQS. So please give us a like and share and subscribe. Yeah. So this 2020 marks a very the pandemic and everything, but 2021 has become uh, the point of resilience for every one of us. And it is very exciting to note that with this challenging period, we were able to pull off a number of milestones. And we were busy last year. That's why today's the 10th session of Patch. We were busy with a number of milestones, have hosting the PAQS Congress and our 10th anniversary, the 10th anniversary of PICQS.
Yeah, I agree, AJ. Also, basically, the year 2021 is undoubtedly one of the years we will all never forget. So this
Correct.
year made us more optimistic about taking every opportunity in a period of difficulty, especially in our digital transformation, membership, training, finance, communication committees. So we celebrated basically our first decade, and then We successfully hosted the PICQS Congress 2021, and we are grateful to everyone who supported all our events for the 2021. And basically, we are looking forward to more success of PICQS.
Yes, indeed. We are looking forward to what 2022 has to offer. So, PICQS in 2021 has conducted a number of milestones, and it was indeed an honor to be part of it and gives us great pride as members of PICQS. As there are a number of things that we would like to hear from our featured guest today, please do the honor, Eric, of welcoming our guest to our virtual studio.
Okay, without further ado, our featured guest for this afternoon, or for tonight rather, is a young and vibrant professional who have spent a decade in the built environment. Prior to her professional victories, she completed her degree in civil engineering in 2010 at Laguna State Polytechnic University and pursued higher national certificate in quantity surveying with Philippine Institute of Built Environment. She is currently a senior quantity surveyor in a structural steel company in Singapore with an S1 category. She's one of the PICQ's newest corporate member after recently passing the Assessment of Professional Competence, or APC, by PICQS. Furthermore, she also gained her member grade with the AIQS thereafter. Our guest is one of the active members of PICQS, part of the Mentors League, and was one of the hosts of the parallel sessions of PAQS Congress 2021, hosted by our organization. Let's all welcome Engineer Anthea Valdez.
Okay, good evening, Anthea, and welcome to Patch.
Good evening,
Thank you.
Thea.
Thank you, Eric, for a very warming introduction. And good day, good morning, I guess, good evening as well to all of our viewers around the globe. And it's really nice to see you again, AJ, our Singapore chapter's president, and Eric from Philippines. And I really appreciate this invitation from you to be one of your guests. It is an honor. And also given this opportunity that I will be able to share with you my career journey, especially recently passing the APC, or the Assessment of Professional Competence, by PICQS. And I hope by the end of the show, I guess maybe one or two or more, I hope, might be inspired from my fellow quantity surveyors and be motivated on setting and pursuing their career plans. And moreover, for how PIQS could offer more to its members, and how they will guide each members and support them as well on pursuing their APC, and as well as on their QS journey.
Couldn't agree more. So there
Yeah.
should be like a certain career path. At your very young age, Atea, we're very proud of you that you were able to reach the height of your, not yet the height of your career. There's still a lot more to experience. You mean a lot more goals to meet, and but you are already there. I mean, you're already at the top. You have attained the certified professional certification from PICQS APC. But I think our viewers are wondering what really is a quantity surveyor. So let us give them a 2 minute overview or gist of what quantity surveying is all about. So here it goes.
So
Okay.
there you have it. Yeah, our short video. So shout out as well to Randall from TIPQC for
The
giving us
template.
that video. So and
Yes.
also I would like to thank PICQS for its achievement and continuing development to providing Filipino quantity surveyors high quality trainings. So the APC structured training offered by PICQS to Filipino QSs aims to assist the candidate for APC or our members in their quest to chartership and certification. So this is a tailored fit program to understand the level of competencies required and APC structured training and the competencies which we will share in detail as we go on with our discussion. So we will discuss
Indeed.
this further. And then before that, why don't we check out and ask about Atea's career journey?
Okay. Okay, so now we are here to witness about and have a overview of your career journey throughout your the progression, and later on we will break down into your the experience that you've had with APC. So tell us more about your career journey. I mean, you have spent 10 years in the built environment.
Okay. Uh,
Now, what led you? I mean, the question is, what led you to become a quantity surveyor?
okay. I guess, like you mentioned, I've been in the industry as a QS for a decade now, and actually, it took me half of it to realize that I am a quantity surveyor. And it is a different profession with civil engineering. So, way back on 2010, after I had completed my degree in civil engineering, and then I had acquired my professional license, I was hired as a quantity surveyor. And I was thinking back then, I am an office version of a civil engineer,
Mm-hmm.
not knowingly that there are totally two different professions. Maybe one thing about it is that it's not highly promoted. Many of the professionals are not aware that there is a different profession other than civil engineering or mechanical or electrical. And after I came to Singapore, bit by bit, I realized then that I am working not as a civil engineer but a QS then. So after that, I realized also on when I took HNC. Further, I had a deeper understanding that whatever I have experienced, I could enhance it better because all of my learnings before were like just based on my experience. So I have to enhance it on my own because I don't have that proper, learning because first I graduated and
Okay.
I understood that if I'm not mistaken, 15% of the CE subjects were the only part that were relevant for a QS. And
Mm-hmm.
I also realized then that there are wide range of competencies. Actually, there are 18 competencies of
Mhm.
quantity surveying. So thanks to PICQS, who was really promoting and doing all its effort to promote it, quantity surveying in the Philippines, and with PIB as well, which also supported by PICQS. Uh, I learned more. I mean, better. I'm now practicing the best way.
I
Like
couldn't
they're
agree more.
always quoting
Agree.
best way, the QS way, the certified way now,
Agree.
and uh,
I
Go ahead,
yes,
Eric.
Okay, yeah. It's good to know, Antea, no, that you are also a graduate of the Philippine Institute of Built
mm,
Environment. I myself as well it belongs to the pioneer batch of the
yes.
PIDE. And
Okay.
the next question is I want to know is that what can you consider as a turning point in your career?
Okay. Uh, I guess since the beginning, because as many of my friends and colleagues have known me that I'm quite a workaholic, so I have been preoccupied with work, and I had struggled on managing my time. So it never came into my mind on I know I'm enhancing my career, and I've been stagnant. And when the pandemic hit, so it was way back 2020, and the opportunity to study online started to kick in. So that's when I say maybe it's an opportunity for me, because I was invited by a friend here in Singapore to join her on pursuing RICS APC, which I am actually clueless of these things. That first thing first, I've been surprised that QS is
Uh-huh.
a different profession, and then there are these professional bodies with I only thinking as a civil engineer is just PIC,
Mm-hmm.
because I
Okay.
haven't thought
When
of
was
other
this?
than that. Yeah, right.
Okay. So what?
And there's
Okay, sorry.
RICS and there's PICQS. I've been hearing about PICQS because I
Uh-huh.
have a friend who's a fellow member of the organization who's been inviting me several times to
Okay.
register and be a member. And then when I missed the supposed training that I'll be attending by another provider, I decided maybe I should go, and while waiting for it to commence for the next batch, I'll
Uh-huh.
go and proceed to be a member of PICQS. And I had the interview, and the evaluator also introduced to me PIBE, and then say, okay. And the same day, I inquired, I enrolled, and then they say you missed the first day, then you start. So I guess everything here
Wow.
had
Okay.
shifted so fast, and I did not expected that
Mhm.
I did not expect that everything of this happened to me. I've been involved with
Okay.
PICQS. I've been involved with. I was given the opportunity to be part of PIQS. I passed the APC. So it's just like, and then the rest were history. So I guess
Ah,
that's the time
okay.
that I think it's pandemic who helped me out with this situation of
I
my
couldn't
career.
Mm, good
agree
to know.
more.
Yeah.
That's the silver lining on your end. Well, this was in August 2020, so I we can see how fast the things have turned out for you. I mean, everything was spontaneous. You inquired and then you enrolled. But what do you find interesting in your career journey? I mean, looking at it at an in a nutshell or as an overview.
Okay, I guess in my career journey, I realized that there is so much to explore. So, of course, definitely, I'm not forgetting myself as a civil engineer. So, other than that, I'm also enhancing myself for this for my supposed to be profession, and in quantity surveying as well. So, I realized that I thought that I'm good enough, but I realized that there are still a lot that I need to hone on my own skills. That's why
Agree.
I decided to attend these training programs, the
Mm-hmm.
school, and then updating my career plan as
Mm-hmm.
well. So I'm not finding it in a sense of like financial stability, and so, because I think it's
Uh-huh.
that once given whenever you're enhancing and upgrading yourself,
I
it's
agree.
given. But as myself, as an individual, I think I became more interested, because to be honest, I'm not fond of learning. Since then, my mom always told me before that you need to study, focus. I say I just need to pass, and then I need to give her good grades, but that's it. I'm not
Okay.
aiming to, I mean, get
To
the most
excel.
grade, right, and
Okay.
excel more. Uh and
But
by this journey, I met great people. That's what I really enjoyed about, because these
wow.
people, yeah, they really supported me, and I learned a lot from them, just from their experience. And they inspired me, they motivated me during the times that I've been down on
Mm-hmm.
on my APC. During my APC, my study days, they supported me emotionally, morally, and it also brought passion to myself, to hunger for knowledge, that I need to
The
motivate
hunger for
myself.
knowledge.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
and
hunger
a
for knowledge is
motivation as
always there.
well. Yeah, and it
Um,
started with PICQS and PIBE. By the way, if
agree.
any one of you are interested to take HNC in quantity surveying, other than the structured training of PICQS, PIBE, the Philippine Institute of Built Environment, is offering this course, and they're open for enrollment in June. And usually starts on September. So everyone's open to
Okay.
it's open for
Yes.
And
everyone if you
yeah,
want to find out for more.
Mhm.
I
That's
couldn't agree more, no. PICQS is not only offering the structured trainings, the CPDs, a lot of trainings, but it offers also a good community of people
correct.
who wants to help in terms because they were basically a product of PICQS and they are
Yes,
motivated by those people who help them. That's why we are continuously developing or enriching the Bayanihan spirit of the
yes.
Filipinos
Yes.
through our activities. Yeah, thank you for that.
Correct.
Very interesting story for that,
Correct.
Thea.
Yes, thank you for sharing your career journey in a nutshell. So now that we've had a glimpse of what transpired during Thea's decade in the built environment, and for sure, I think you couldn't agree more, the civil engineering background has helped in the sense that you're doing, your role as a QS for a steel structure company, right? So it will help. It has helped you. I mean, the civil engineering background in terms of structures. Okay, so now that you've had a glimpse, why don't we check out the APC preparation that Thea has made for her to pass this APC? There. Okay.
Oh, okay. So I guess we are now ready to
Yes.
discuss about the TS APC preparation. So you are the second batch of successful APC candidates and a recipient of the Platinum Award for having MPICQS status. So how long did you prepare for this one? What are the measures or what are
Mhm.
the preparations basically that you've done?
Okay. Well, Eric, I whenever I'm asked about on that question, whenever I was congratulated or saying that, oh, you did this and you did that, I still feel amazed actually that I passed the interview and now a certified QS. And to answer your question on how long, it took me a
Mm,
year actually. I started
mm,
September
Wow.
2020. I was with PIBE, so I'm attending agency, and then I took the structured training for PICQS. So I was juggling with PIB, with agency, PICQS, and my work, and my personal stuff. And for the structured training, actually, also the structured training of PICQS will take about 1 year. So my final
Yes.
mhm,
assessment or final interview was held on October 31 of 2021. So from September 2020 to October 31 of 2021. And the just to have an overview of the timeline of PICQS, it actually starts with P3T. This is a PICQS think tank
think tank.
training,
Impact
which is
training.
for
Yes.
level one. This is for level one, and there's app one for the level two, which is applying, and then there's GAMP for mentoring program,
Mhm,
guidance and mentoring program, and there's PAP two for the level three, and there's the APC. So to I think to sum it up, it's a series of trainings, continuous trainings, often made every weekend to accommodate the trainers' schedule and the trainees as well.
Mhm.
And I guess the preparation is always, I think in RICS also the same. It always take 1 year, because for me you need to undergo for preliminary, and then you need to have for the submission, and then the final interview. So around 1 year also for the preparation.
That's
And then there's the
really
mock interviews by the ways in between.
the mock interviews. Okay, I was
mhm,
about to tell. I was about to ask you. So tell us more about the technicalities and timeline of your APC preparation. I know you had it in 1 year. I can imagine how busy you were throughout these trainings, and then while you're doing PIBE or the well, you're enrolled in the HNC, you're also doing the structured training, and in parallel, you are having these mock interviews, writing your SOEs. So, tell us more about your schedule during this time, and the technicalities behind it.
Are you sleeping on this day?
Yes, are you still sleeping or
Okay,
Were you
during this
able to
time,
sleep? Mm-hmm.
okay, because I was studying, working in the morning. Okay, I was studying in the evening, and on Friday evening and Saturdays I have to attend HNC, and then Saturday evening after the class I have to attend the structured training. So it had been difficult, but again you need to find time, right? You need to look for time. You need to take out anything that distracting
uh-huh.
you and taking out from your time so that you can put something else in it that is for good purpose. And for the so I was on agency. By the way, if you there are some exemptions on agency, but I think this one should be inquired with them further on how you can benefit if you will undergo agency and
Mm-hmm.
PICQS structured training.
Yeah.
But after I prepared all of my write-ups, my statement of experience or so-called SOE, and my case study. So my mentor has to review it and assist me on it. And then I went for the I was also scheduled for a grand mock interview. And for if because there's this is a second batch, so we're still
Mm-hmm.
on the midst of planning this and that for the committee, for the APC committee on how they could enhance it and provide better service to the trainees and those aspiring QS. And in between I had the mock interviews. So these
Mm-hmm.
mock
In
interviews were
between?
supposed to be 10 only. So they're expecting
Mm-hmm.
us to have, I think, 5 to 10. And then I asked my mentor, which is Miss Grace, our knowledge committee head, if what
Wow.
if I cannot meet these mock interviews, the 10 mock interviews, because I know the schedule and then the schedule of my
Mm-hmm.
own schedule and the mentors as well. But I made 22 mock interviews.
Wow.
Yeah,
It.
the difficult time there, yeah, from the list that was given to me I have to arrange them according to their time zones, and then to their I have to make some research on their expertise, so I would like to combine them together in the sense that I know they have different views. For example, they're
Mm-hmm.
expert in commercial management, in
Uh-huh.
contracts, in this, so that I could enhance on each competencies. So that
I
on
think
one view, yeah, on one view
okay.
from one panel is from they have different comments, and
Uh-huh.
like if you are focused on like commercial management only, of course they're focusing on that competency as well, and
Mhm.
then on contracts and so on.
You know,
Yeah.
I,
It's.
I
So
remember I remember Thea doing the I was talking to her about some preparations for the PAQS Congress, and she
Mm-hmm.
would say, "I'm sorry, press. I'm still doing something for the mock." So it was about 1 a.m. So you're doing mock interviews around 1 a.m. Singapore or Philippine time.
yes, my latest was like I think 2 to 3 a.m.
Wow.
Because of the
Wow.
time zone, but you need to like because you're already there, so you need to sacrifice a bit on your time,
Yeah. So
and you
Mm-hmm.
just need to find rest whenever you can.
I,
correct.
And yeah,
yeah.
So
because
it's
I
of
really
think.
a matter of sorry. So it's really a matter of how bad you want it, or
oh yeah,
how
Mm-hmm.
bad you really need to schedule these things. And of course, kudos to the mentors and to those
yes,
people, the our corporate members who are very willing to share their time and
yeah,
doing the mock
Agree.
interviews
Agree.
with you.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay, so
That's what I really appreciate. Sorry, that's
Yeah.
what I really appreciate with PICQS. The members of the organization were so supportive.
Mm-hmm.
We have different time zones. I'm from Singapore. I'm GMT 8, and then we are like 4 hours we are 4 hours. They are 4 hours later. I mean,
Yeah,
times four
more
hours
hours
Mm-hmm.
plus.
behind.
So you see
Dubai.
the struggle with everyone that they are giving their time. They
Mhm.
are taking it out from their personal time just to help out the professionals
Mhm.
on their whatever their plans in their career.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I learned from Mom Grace when I first talked to her. She
Mm-hmm.
told me, as long as you are committed.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I
Yeah.
guess it's interesting to know the process that you went through. No, you doubled the number of mock interviews, and then you've exhausted most of your time for your preparation. So if I may ask, what is the overview of your case study?
Okay, for my case study, as much as I would like to wish, as much as I wish to share with you
Yeah,
an
sure, sure.
overview of it, but I am not permitted to give a glimpse of the case study because it's
Mm-hmm.
a private, I mean, confidential one. And
Yeah.
just to give you an idea of what
Mm-hmm.
is what it is comprising with, and maybe the outline of it. So on a case study, of course, you need to have a good case wherein it's not something that is you should be able to manifest or to show your critical analysis on it. So sometimes there are cases like very straightforward, like for dispute. Of course, we already have a mechanism for that, a dispute resolution in our contract. So why would you go to and include it in your case? Of course, it's a case, but it's very straightforward. Everyone should know that you should follow the proper dispute resolution, such like that. But
Mm-hmm.
for a case study, you need to be able to present yourself that you were able to
Demonstrate.
critically
Yeah.
think, yeah,
Correct.
demonstrate
You need to
it,
be able
and
to
you need, mm-mm.
demonstrate the competencies all throughout.
Yes,
I mean, the
yes, yes.
case
You
study. Correct.
practicing in a best way. So you are a QS in best practice. That's what's important in a case study, and you will provide your options. Whatever options governed, you need to have your criteria, analysis, and then you need to have an outcome of it. And what's important for a case study is that it is a real case that happened to you,
Mhm.
because if it's just a made up story similar to a statement of experience, it will be difficult for you to
Yeah.
defend it,
Correct.
because they will definitely know that you are guessing what you
Yeah.
are guessing with your answers.
And
In
And
in other words, you should know all the ins and outs, and
yes,
correct.
basically you experience.
yes,
Mhm.
you
There's no
experience.
such thing as fabricated experience.
No,
Correct.
no.
I mean,
Unless you are,
Mm.
maybe if you're really good, but it's unethical to do so, right?
Yeah,
yes,
So
yeah.
correct.
ethics is very important. If you failed ethics, everything everything's gone. Everything that you
Hmm.
did
Correct.
is gone.
Agree, agree, agree.
Agree. Agree. So these competencies really we need to meet them at a certain level, and ethics we need to meet to demonstrate ethics up to level three. Meaning, level one is knowing, and level two is doing, and level three is advising. So if you're going to provide a false statement on your
Yeah.
statement of experience, you're not doing it the proper way, or you're not ethical at all.
Hmm.
So
Agree,
yes,
agree.
so doing this, you have 10 years of experience in the built environment. You patched up your required competencies through structured trainings. I would like to ask, or we would like to know, what are the challenges during the
Mm.
APC preparation, considering me you have mentioned about the timing, but
Mm-hmm.
emotionally, or let's say mentally, has it really is it really that tiresome? I mean,
Hmm.
we have separate
Mm-hmm.
or different
Yeah.
appetites when it comes to staying up at night, so it's really a matter of how really you want it, or your schedule fits it,
Mm-mm.
and your body can still consume it. But what are the other challenges during the APC preparation?
Okay. First thing, I think for the challenges that the pressure first, because I was endorsed by Chair Julie. And when I was given that opportunity that okay, I can proceed with the APC, and that's the first challenge with me because I couldn't fail her, not just for myself, but the trust that she gave to me as her student that time. That I say, I really need to work this out, and I really need to learn more, enhance myself so that I'll be qualified for the APC, and the time zone as well with my mentor, because she's from UAE and I'm from Singapore. So both of us were struggling. She has sleepless nights as well, not just me, because sometimes she's communicating with me here morning here in Singapore. So definitely it's like maybe 4 a.m. there,
Midnight.
3 a.m. there,
Uh-huh.
and it's difficult for both of us. So not there are some challenges when you are not really going deep to that what was structured by PICQS. That's why it's very important that you go according to the structured training, because they have studied well why you need to go this, because you will bother
Mhm.
people as well. But I really appreciate the effort from Miss Grace, that she understood, and she was also committed to help out QS like me, who's been aspiring to be certified. And another thing to that, you mentioned about emotion. So I think it was our finals. It's mid of the year, June last year, and because maybe I was too tired, I have exhausted myself too much, and I lost a life. And saying what I mean is that I got miscarriage. I had my miscarriage, and I I think this one my friends has been counseling me about it, especially my spiritual families in the church, that if the baby will continue, then it will continue. However, it's a reminder for me that even though you have these plans, you are really into that, pursuing whatever your plans in your career, but you also need to remember and be reminded that your
Your
health is
health.
still important. That
Agree.
if okay,
Mhm.
let's say that you passed and you don't have any conflicts with it, but your body failed, so there's no point about it, and there's no point being certified or chartered if your body is failing, and you cannot also help out other QS if you are not in good shape. And with these emotional hurdles, this ordeal that I have experienced, I felt that time on June last year is that that time it was my finals with PIBE, and I'm also doing my write ups with PICQS. And I felt the warm support of the organization and the institution, the PIBE. They really understood that my situation, and it's not just because I wasn't able to manage it anymore with my time, but I have to rest a bit because I really cannot. And I remember what time when we were having our final presentation for one course in PIBE, they're asking me, "Are you okay?" I say, "I just had my miscarriage just the other day." So I'm still, and then they say, "Why are you okay?" Because I have to continue. I don't. I mean,
Mhm.
there's no reason of stopping because I don't want to have my baby's life go to waste, and it's been tough, but it's a sacrifice. So you should, there's always a silver lining to it, that you need to really work hard and aim to it until you be able to tell your child that, yeah, mommy did it, and it's there, and whatever it may be
Wow.
hard, but you have to move on. And that's the main challenge in my APC journey, that I have to go through to that emotional battle that time. But I really appreciate the support of the people around me, especially PICQS, when I'm preparing for my APC, because my mentor said, you she always give me confidence that I need to hold on to God on
Correct.
whatever it
Mhm.
is. So spiritually, she's also encouraging me, and emotionally as well.
Okay, I feel for you, Anthea. We're sorry about what happened, but
Mhm.
it's really it's courage and faith that has led you to tread on and finish what you have started. and we are very proud and of what you've done and what you have gone through. Nobody, I mean, not everybody can surpass
Mm-hmm.
that hurdle within that span of time that quickly. Okay, so we have been talking about structured training, PICQS APC, and Thea has demonstrated the tests and challenges to oneself that you have gone through at this point. So why don't we take a peek on, since we have talked about and touched on PICQS, what was the PICQS role in your APC journey?
Yeah.
But right now you're okay, right? You're perfectly fine and in good shape, and you have been sleeping. I mean, 8 hours. I hope you've been sleeping 8 hours. You've mentioned that it was a reminder that you need to
Mm-hmm.
prioritize your health as well.
Yes,
So
yes.
we hope that you're
If
sleeping.
if you're able to manage on your time in your career and your family and personal life, you also need to find time for yourself. So you cannot miss that part, that
Mm-hmm.
yourself is also important, because
Correct.
if it failed,
Yeah.
then everything fails.
Mm.
Okay.
And I think to wrap the story, you have a very interesting story, a unique one, and
Yes.
transforming those struggles, those pigments of your past, basically strengthened you and continue more, because there
Mm,
are not to compare, but there are those who cannot dwell on such challenges, and then they basically will not continue with their quests. But
yes.
I guess it's a reminder for every one of us as well, that behind those struggles there is always an opportunity for us to cope,
Mm.
and that's what you did, and we applaud, or we um, basically, personally, I would like to congratulate you in transforming yourself. But I'm very sorry for the loss as well. So, we've talked about your preparations during the APC, your challenges, the pain points. Um, we've also touched about the PICQS role in your APC journey. So, what was the role of PICQS in your career? So, more so, being a certified professional. We have a lot of people, or we have a lot of products already
Mm,
from our from PICQS, who have been PICQS have been part of their journey. So tell us more about your story, how PICQS became part of your APC journey.
okay, I guess first thing, when, because I have mentioned earlier that through PICQS, I managed to learn about PIB, and then I was given the opportunity to join the APC, PICQS APC, and be one of the passing candidates of batch 2. And for PICQS, I guess they offered structured training. Again, we already saw it on the clip, and we've discussed earlier the series of training programs that they're offering. And from these trainings, they have this, the trainers are really qualified. If you will just see on their profiles, I say you will just stand, and if you start hearing them, you will be really inspired. Oh, I want this guy, I want to be like this. And that's how, I guess, the main thing, because not just the structured training, but the trainers itself, the PICQs provide qualified trainers, not
Mhm.
just corporate members. We have our fellow from chair, and I think our national president, right? Already a fellow. If I'm not mistaken, we have two in our organization, and the rest of the trainers, our corporate members, who are also RICS
Chartered
members.
professionals.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-mm. And
Mm.
these structured trainings provide good quality
Mm.
education to QS. So from
Yes.
level one, understanding
Mhm.
what you need to know, what are the
Correct.
basic things that you need to know, and then for level two, how you will apply it with work, and then there's level three, what how you will advise your client or your management, or how you
On the
will have a
best
critical
cases.
analysis on a situation. And
Correct.
moreover, I guess they also provide review on your write-ups because there's GAMP, Guidance and
Mhm.
Mentoring Program. So they provide trainers for you to review. The trainers to help the trainees uh, their write-ups be reviewed by the
Correct.
trainers, and
Yep.
also mock interviews. So even though the trainers are some of the members of PICQS are not part of the training program, but if you invite them for a mock interview, they will be more than happy to assist
Mhm.
you with that. They will really set their time. You just need to arrange it accordingly, and then they'll be glad to accept you. And then even after the mock interviews, you can reach them out anytime. So I guess the moral support is there. So they're very
Agree.
encouraging, and then saying you just need to do this. They have these comments, and then there are some good and bad comments because some comments you
Mhm.
cannot take. So I guess what PICQS is teaching you is that you need to understand and accept the comments from your peers, and learn from it. Not just
Mhm.
feeling bad that, oh, I'm failing
Mhm.
on this. One of the experience I had when I received a comment from PICQS that maybe you're not speaking English well. You know, I say, I thought I'm good enough. And then they say, maybe you're not speaking English well because you aren't able to deliver your answers well. But in the end, even though they have this comment that you will feel harsh,
Mhm.
but in the end, they say, you need to practice more. You need to maybe
It's like
try,
you have
yeah, in front of
correct.
a
Mhm.
mirror, and then talk to yourself, and then try, like, a mock for yourself. And then,
Mm.
do not stop from here. It's like they will
Yes.
still motivate you even after this negative comment. And it's not always positive as well. So yeah,
Yes.
but there are also great things that they will encourage you. Oh, you are great on this. You keep it up. And then, oh, you have some, you know lacking on this part. So I guess
Mm.
that's the main thing that about PICQs, because the structured training is given, it's there
Correct.
available. But what's
Yes.
important is the
Agree.
community, like what Eric said earlier,
Mm.
is the community that's important, the people around
Mhm.
it,
Correct.
who's forming the
Agree.
organization. That's what
Mm.
matters most for an organization to succeed.
Agree. Okay, couldn't agree more. And once you're doing the mocks, you would have to take everything as a constructive criticism
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
not everybody can give or choose the words to make
Mm,
Yeah.
you feel for you not to make be unease, feel uncomfortable or feel the you know feel sad about it or be offended with the words that they have chosen. It's a matter of how you look into the advice that they're trying to give you. So if they find you incompetent enough in terms of,
yeah,
let's say, how you deliver your answers, then yes, just try to work on it. And if you know
Mhm.
that you have done your best, then you're up for the challenge, right? So
yeah,
it's do or die. It's
yes.
now or never. So
Correct.
okay.
I,
So I
I
believe,
think
yeah. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, it's more on based on Thea's answer to my question. It's more on the constructive criticism, and
Correct.
these people around you is here to help, not to put
Yes.
you down. So
Yes.
good thing that the reception from these words is for your basically for your
For
improvement.
own.
Yes.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
For own good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as a product of the structured training of PICQS, and now that you're a certified professional, you are ready to be a mentor and you become part of this PICQS Mentors League Assessment or PMLA. So how ready are you to provide mentorship to the future APC candidates?
Okay, when I learned that once you passed PICQS APC, then it's automatically you'll be part of the PMLA. So there's no backing out, I guess. And it's really, but for me, it is an honor to be part of a very prestigious team, because there are people that you will look up to, because I
Mhm.
was inspired by all of them. And on my preparation, or how ready am I actually told Ma'am Grace when she approached me about it, and I said that I'm not as to that level of you, like I mean, not like the other mentors who's been in the industry for so long, and who's been training professionals for years already. But I told her that I will do my best knowledge and expertise, and whatever I've learned from everyone, I will definitely apply it and teach it to other QS and other professionals. Because one thing I learned, I actually love, I mentioned that I'm not fond of learning or studying in per se, but I love teaching. So I like to teach people, especially on my
Mhm.
team here in Singapore, and whoever asked me, they only asked me one. I explained a lot already. I'm fond of teaching people. So I guess it's I have to pay it forward to the people who have
Mhm.
not just have helped me, because they don't need my I mean, whatever I can share they already know. But to everyone who's aspiring, and then they need clarity on things, I always help them out. So even if not with the structured training,
Uh-huh.
so whoever tries to approach me,
Agree.
I help at whatever I can offer to them, because I've been on the same foot before. So I'm
True.
seeking assistance, help from people around me. And I told her, Mom Grace, one time that I may not be on your level now, but I will continue to enhance myself so that I'll be more qualified in your eyes. That she's saying that no, you're okay. But for me, I think there's still room for learning. It doesn't stop. And as even if you are certified or you are a chartered, you still need to continue to enhance yourself, upgrade yourself, learn more, update. That's why there's CPDs are required, because it
Right.
means that you are updated with the
Correct.
changes. Right, especially now there's pandemic, so there are some
Correct.
changes, and
Mm.
how you need to even with the other professions. So
Mhm.
whatever you are able to gain, you just don't keep it to yourself, but you share it to other people. Um,
Agree.
yeah, because
Mm.
it's what people
Just
around
pay
you
it
will do.
forward. Correct.
Mhm.
Regardless if they're
Mm.
sharing it to you or not, it's knowledge.
Correct.
So why would I keep it to myself then?
Agree,
Agree.
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 Yeah.
So it's really nice to know about what you've gone through, and that you're ready to teach and you're very willing to share your knowledge. This is very important. And a call out to our Train the Trainers program. So I'm sure you'll be a part of it anytime, sometime soon. And we look forward to having you as one of these our SMEs for our structured
Mhm.
trainings. Thank you very much, Thea. So for now, why don't we take a look into what happened and what transpired during the actual final assessment interview. Okay, so there
Mhm.
you have it. Now we're going to have the gist of what happened or what transpired during the final assessment interview. Take it away.
Yeah. I have a question here. No. Can you please tell us more about perhaps basically the background maybe of the panel assessors uh, who are there during your APC?
Okay. For the final interview, I missed to ask Ma'am Grace to have the permission to disclose the panel
Mm-hmm.
assessors. Yeah.
Perhaps just the
But
highlights
yeah,
or the
just to give you
background.
a highlight of it,
Mm-hmm.
the assessors were PICQS corporate members and registered
Mm-hmm.
assessors. Why they should be part of RICS as well is that if not many know, I mean, those who are not part of
Mm-hmm.
PICQS yet or not aware of, uh, if you have passed PICQS APC, then you can have there's a grant for recognition for direct entry.
Mm.
So RICS has granted our organization PICQS to file for a direct entry as an
Direct
associate
entry.
member of RICS.
That's
That's
great. That's
good
So
to
great. Yeah.
yeah,
hear.
that's why it's also
Mhm.
important, and I hope soon that we will be qualified for a mutual recognition or a memorandum of
The
recognition the
mutual recognition, yes.
for direct
That
Mhm.
entry.
similarly, when you have passed the PICQS APC, you applied as a corporate member for AIQS because
Yes,
PICQS has this mutual recognition
Mhm.
for the membership. So once you become a corporate member of PICQS, then you can apply and get the corporate membership status for AIQS and NZIQS as well. So it's a good
yes,
venture to
yes,
look into
exactly.
because the reason being is our structured trainings is in parallel to what
Mhm.
is being
Correct.
shared also by these professional bodies. So that is what PICQS aims to have this standard structured training as to how we will practice the profession. So, what do you
Definitely.
look forward to, or how do you see yourself 5 years from now?
How I see myself 5 years from now. Okay, so I need to update my career plan, I guess. And I think for 5 years from now, definitely I'm still active with the organization, and I see myself studying still, and have completed my MSc for whatever it is, or and
Mhm.
yeah, because it's been part of my original career plan, but I have to update it now because there are some parts of it that were like happened too fast. And within 5 years, I guess I'm already a member of RICS. So praying that would be able to be qualified as well for their own assessment of
Mhm.
professional competence.
Yeah.
Great, that's
It's
great to hear.
yeah. It's very interesting to know your plans 5 years
Yes.
from now. So if I may ask, so what are the changes happened to your career after passing the APC? Are there changes basically in your career?
For after passing the APC, of course, there was a big leap in my career. And
Mm.
one thing is that I am now a corporate member of PICQS. I
Wow.
was given the privilege as well to be part of the Mentors League, and now being one of the trainers, actually, body trainers
Mhm.
of GAMP, and given a chance to be a reviewer of their submissions, or their write-ups for SOA and case study overview. And like discussed earlier, I it is a privilege to be a member of AIQS, the Australian Institute
Mhm.
of Quantity Surveyors, and it was very quick. And I, because of the understanding between two organizations, I immediately had, after the endorsement and application, it was approved that fast. And it also gave room for a new role with a new company,
Mhm.
because they noticed that
Mhm.
I am members of these organizations, and they acknowledge it, given with my certificates presented to them, as well with my profile. In it was more noticeable than before,
Mm.
because you could see that I am part of
Yeah.
the organization. I've been
Uh-huh.
engaged with PAQS Congress, and I've been connected to different professionals as well. The more you get engaged with the organization, the more your connections,
It's network
be
growth.
becomes
Correct.
wider
Mhm.
and wider. Your circle becomes wider and wider.
Yeah.
Not just knowing
Agree.
them, but you will get connected. Uh,
And I
you know,
guess it's basically, I'll go back to our chairman's words that um, passing the APC is not the end of your QS
Yes.
journey.
Yes.
So there are a lot. It's not just about reaping those benefits alongside
Mm-hmm.
with your post
Module.
nominals or
Correct.
qualifications, but basically, it's good thing to know that you mentioned about teaching or sharing your stories, mentoring. So I guess in PICQS we are very welcoming
Mm-hmm.
with the likes of Anthea Valdez.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
The thing is, the thought that you are very willing to pay it forward. This is
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
something that we cannot negate. The fact that you are very much willing after you have received all these benefits of being a member. You mean the support during the structured training as well as when you
Mm-hmm.
did the mock interviews and all this, and now you're ready to pay it forward. This is
Yeah.
what's very important. So now, why don't we take a look? We have been talking about competencies, how you've passed them, how you've written your statement of experience. So during the initial part of our program, we have shown a 2-minute video of the competencies, and what is a quantity surveyor and the competencies and what is PICQS. So now, why don't we have a look into more detail, like look into the slides. I'll be sharing them now. There you go. And what are the QS competencies per se? So, that being said, let me just share a few notes. So, basically, there are three categories for 18 competencies in quantity surveying, which we need to complete up to three levels. So, here in this slide, you will see that we have three categories: basic or mandatory, core or technical, specific or optional. And the three levels being level 1 knowing, level 2 doing, and level 3 advising. So there's this slash that you can see basic or mandatory, because basic is for the term that we use for our level 1 or the basic categories for PICQS APC, mandatory for RCS, right? For RCS APC. And then I think Thea, you can share more about the basic competencies here that we have on screen.
Okay, so there are like seven basic or mandatory competencies. Why this is always I mean there like mentioned there it's split into two. There's technical or core and basic and mandatory. So
Mhm.
for this from the term itself, it's simply defined that every QS must have these skills and knowledge because this is very important. Uh, every QS, even if you don't have much experiences on the technical and core competencies, but every QS must carry this knowledge and have been practicing
Agree.
it. For example, for ethics and conduct rules, you must
Yes.
always professionally and ethically practicing it with your career, regardless if it's with QS or in civil engineering. You should be always on a proper act, and you should always deliver it accordingly to the
Correct.
ethical standards. And for the sustainability and green environment as well, so everyone should understand the importance of it on construction and when you are reading drawings and specifications as well, for health and
Correct.
safety and welfare. So even at home, I mean, even what I meant is simply is that even if it's not on your in QS, there are parts here that you should have known because it's very important. And for the next three, I mean for the conflict avoidance, client care, and financial, this one is a daily activity of us as a QS. So even if you are on the contracts or in tendering or you know in commercial, so it is always practice and it always happens.
It's a must.
It's
Correct.
identifiable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you must demonstrate this accordingly. And it's very important that you have this and be able to
Mm-hmm.
demonstrate it properly with your
Correct.
statement of experience and with the panel as well.
Agree. And emphasis on the levels that you need to demonstrate it.
Yes.
So, for example, for ethics, as we mentioned earlier in the program, conduct rules, ethics, and professional practice will be, you have to demonstrate it up to level
Level
3.
3.
Meaning, as how did you give advice to your colleague or to anybody when they are in need of, or where when they are being faced of an ethical
Mm-hmm.
situation,
Yes.
whereby we tackle about, you can consider about the things that happen in the construction industry, which is very common: bribery, corruption.
Mm-hmm.
So as a professional, you should be able to demonstrate, and you should be practicing the profession ethically.
Mm.
So that's
Yes.
one. And then the rest of it, we need to um, satisfy up to level 2, and then demonstrate that we have done it, or level 1 that we know about it. Right, Eric?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Um, okay, so basically, for the next slide, we'll talk more about the core or the technical competencies. So, basically, or this so the competency framework ensures those basically applying for the PICS qualification are competent to practice and meet the highest standards of professionalism required for our profession. No, so to be competent is to have the skill or ability to perform the task or the function. So for the technical or the core competencies, these are the primary skills of a quantity surveyor.
Mm.
So if you, yeah,
Yes.
if you can see here, it's the core. It's the technical
You need to have
basically
them.
competence. You
Yes.
have to achieve level 3
Yes.
for all of these core or technical competence: design economics, the measurement, the commercial management,
Mm.
cost reporting, the
Mm.
contractual procedures, construction technology, and value management and risk management. So you
Yeah.
have to reach level 3
Okay.
for these core competencies.
Okay, so this begs the question. I need to ask you guys. So, what if, for example, you know that the QS role is different when you're with a contractor and when you're with a consultancy firm. So, how does the structured training help in terms like, for example, I've been only doing the QS role for a contractor. So, how
Mhm.
can I meet, let's say, um, some of the parts here, like when you do cost reporting, there are two types of cost report: the cost report that you
Mm.
report, I mean, uh,
Mhm.
internally, and the one that goes to the client. And when you're from the consultant side, there will also be a different type of cost report. And so how do you think we're gonna meet all these in level to level 3? I think, yeah, this one goes to Thea.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
Anthea.
for yeah. Of course, you cannot again statement of experience based on your experience. On
Yes, correct.
if you are working in a contractor side, then you need to focus on what you have experienced. But you need to demonstrate there your best practice, the critical analysis when on each experiences that you are writing up. But when it comes to the interview, then there's where the possible questions for the
Will
client side.
arise.
It
Correct.
Mhm.
doesn't mean that you wrote on your yes. Of course, they need to focus on what you have written, but
Correct.
they need to check whether you are able to demonstrate it as well, even though that you haven't practiced. Because as a QS, you need to be professionally qualified. That's
Mhm.
why they are certifying you according to your profession, right? And for the write-ups, of course, you need to focus. You cannot say that this is the client's view. This is my view because this is all about you. That's why when you're writing, you
Mm,
should be the first person, right? Because me, it's myself, it's not my boss gave this one, my
correct.
colleague did this one. I assisted them when they did this one. You only assisted, but they're the one who did it. So, or my
Correct.
client suggested. But when it comes to engaging with them, if you have anything that relates to the client, then you need to demonstrate there the proper way and proper advice on dealing with them as on
Agree.
view of a contractor. But when you are interviewed, you must expect that you might be asked on the client's view, because of course, yeah, like you mentioned, there's cost reporting on the client side and the
Mhm.
contractor side internally as well, right?
Correct.
And
Agree.
yeah,
Mhm.
and I think it's also worth highlighting the importance of the structured training being offered by PICQS, no? Because let's be honest, in our professional journey or professional experiences, we will not be able to basically experience everything,
Yeah.
like everything all in. So good thing we have the structured training developed by PICQS to cater such experience gaps to help everyone basically to continue with their understanding, their level 2 or level 3 knowledge, basically on these core or technical or mandatory or optional competencies. And um, we
Moving
can
to our
assess.
next one. Yeah, sorry. We moving to our next one,
Mhm,
which is the specific competencies. Okay, so we have this. This is actually depends on what route you're going to take. So for
mhm,
PICQS APC, we have these specific competencies that we need
Mm-hmm.
to meet. For example, you're going through the senior professional route, then you need to demonstrate SPA 01 and SPA 02 up to level 2. And if you're
Mm-hmm.
going through the academic route, then you need to demonstrate SPA 1, 2, and 3 until data management into level 2. So speaking of data management, is really important as QS that we are able to, have proper management of the data that we
Yeah.
have, and also later on it comes with the analysis, no?
Yeah.
So it helps us
Mm-hmm.
with what we can give as an advice to our clients. So I find it really beneficial if you know
mhm.
how to, play with these numbers and make these data be something that is of an advantage to you and to the organization that you work for,
Agree,
right?
agree.
Okay. Now, for RICS APC, they call it not specific, but rather technical optional competencies. So there's this list that you can choose from. And let's say, for example, for the applicant can choose up to two optional competencies that they can demonstrate up to level 2, meaning
Mhm,
doing, no? So you have done this. So let's say you have conflict avoidance, management, and dispute resolution. What experience have you gone through when you would like to demonstrate this up to level 2? And then, of course, the writing of the case study is what we find which very challenging, no? The gist
Yeah.
of it in totality. There
And to
you
add,
have correct.
for case study, there's I think it will lapse only. I think it's good for 36 months, 30 months for our ICS, right? And
Yes, correct.
that's why it's very
24,
important. If
yes,
you have a case, then go for APC.
mhm,
Don't
correct.
miss the
But
chance. It's hard to think of a
correct.
case.
Okay, so from our different views, actually, no, you don't have to find a very complicated project just to have a
mhm,
case study. The most important thing is you are going to be able to demonstrate the competencies that you have acquired in dealing with these key issues when you're sharing your case study. I think that's
Yeah.
the
mhm.
important thing about it. Okay, so there you have it. That is an overview of the rest of the competencies that we need to meet as practicing QS professionals. So before I move to the last segment of our program, which is issuing the final statement and letting go of Anthea and Eric here from Patch, why don't we share a view, something about, we were talking about structured training, and I think it's best to share with them what we're going to have in the next by next week, which is the
Mhm.
26th of February. Okay, so by 26th of February, PICQS is going to conduct its global CPD number 3. So here it goes for further information. Okay, those are our speakers, Maynard Aquino and Lovely. Okay, so that will be on the 26th of February. If you are, Eric, could you tell us more about how we can register for this CPD? It's open for both members and non members alike, right?
Yeah. Basically, the instructions are on our Facebook page and LinkedIn page.
Yes.
So there are 4 steps for you to join the P3T. So it enables you to go further and learn more about the topic.
Ah, yes, correct. So you've
Mhm.
mentioned about P3T. So why
Mhm.
don't we let me share my screen again over here? And these are the topics. I mean, our P3T
Mhm.
will commence by this March,
Yeah.
correct?
P3T are one of our structured trainings, and it caters level 1
Yeah.
for our PICQS members. So these are the topics for the
Yes.
P3T. The registration is ongoing. We posted the list of trainers, the competent trainers, and also we just now we were able to post the initial list of trainees for the P3T 2022. And basically, our registration is open until March 5 of 2022. So we have 2 groups. We have the Middle East chapters, and we also have the Asia Pacific chapters, including the UAE. So we have a lot of initial trainees already. And again, shout out to all members who wants to have the structured training, the introduction, the level 1, which is the PICKS think tank training. So the
Yes.
registration is still open, guys.
Okay, yes, thank you so much for that, Eric. So,
Mm.
24 CPD hours, and then these topics will be discussed by our SMEs. And let me
Mhm.
show you the our esteemed list of trainers for both um, Middle East group and Asia Pacific group. So, for this, so we will have 2 groups. The Middle East group will be conducted every Friday from March 11, and the Asia Pacific group will be conducted every Sunday from March 13, so until April 17. So for our members who are keen to
Mhm.
participate and challenge yourself with the P3T training or the think tank training, which is level 1, go for it. You can reach out to your respective knowledge committee heads or your chapter presidents and officers and
Mhm.
ask them for the details. Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in to Patch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and also I would like to invite everyone to follow our social media platforms. We have
yes.
the Facebook, we have LinkedIn, and we have YouTube as well. So we have ethics postings on Mondays. Feel free to comment, feel free to share. And of course, we also have the quiz, PICQS quiz of the week.
Yes.
It's basically if you can also answer that one, to have a more engaging community, and basically to answer those questions. And also we also I would like to promote as well the APC Friday.
Yes.
We have It's all about APC Friday. So we will post about the experiences of our members, the tips and basics of APCs, and of course be motivated by the stories of our APC passers and the success of their APC journeys.
Thank you very much, Eric, for that.
Mhm.
Okay, so our social media accounts are posted on your screen: Facebook, LinkedIn, and our YouTube channel for PICQS APC Talks Channel or Patch.
Mhm.
Please go and visit and give it a like. Okay, so before we conclude, I think we would like to hear the final statement of our dear featured guest, Antea. The floor is yours for your final statement on your advice to our APC candidates and
Okay.
aspiring members.
Yeah. I guess I'll just gonna share the same thing that I've shared on my testament during our graduation in PIPE, that this is APC is not really an easy route. I mean, you will have sleepless nights. If you're not a coffee drinker, you learn how to drink coffee not just once, but many times in a day, just to keep yourself awake. And I always held into this word. Wouldn't want to sound religious, but I held into a Bible verse that do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your request to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your heart and your minds in Christ Jesus.
Wow,
So that's
amen.
something that I held into. I know Eric have heard this before during the graduation, because
Mhm.
with this prayer, I because you need to know the purpose why you are planning anything in your life, and I found that I need to prioritize him, and the rest shall follow. And he sent me to PICQS, he sent me to PIBE, he sent me to great mentors, everyone that I have met who supported me all throughout, even you, President AJ, who
Mhm.
have introduced
Oh,
me
thank
well
you.
and exposed me in the organization, and Eric as well. And I guess I also, when I also thought that I might fail, my mentor always told me, Mom Grace, that the confidence is in the Lord, so I need to just find it from him. And I remembered one quote from a prime minister of UK before, uh is Winston Churchill, that
Hmm.
success is not final, failure is not
Mhm.
fatal, it is the courage that to continue that counts. So if
Agree.
in that part you have failed for whatever plans that you had, whether it's a PC or trying to practice quantity surveying, that you think that you are not qualified, or this and that, or be a member of PICQs to begin with, I guess you just need to keep on trying, and then you learn from whatever it is. But you need to set whatever your goal is. When you set your goals, you need to pursue it. And if you
Mhm.
think that you are not capable to do so, you need to find reasons why you are wanting it. So if you're really in that, yeah, if you're really determined and committed on pursuing whatever it is, especially APC, focusing on APC alone, then you need to take out things like I've mentioned earlier. You need to list out the things that making you go through that purpose, and you need to list out anything that distracting you. So you need to cross everything: Netflix take out, Facebook take out, Instagram, everything that distracting you. You take out a bit of the social activities, so that you can have, and then you realize you have time. You can find time, and you can just do it, just go for it. And then you have the organization PICQS, you have the great mentors
Yeah.
league, you have the SME, the structured trainings. You have Mom Julie, who is the inspiration of all the members. That's why the community is like that, because the head is thinking on supporting everyone, so the rest will shall follow, right?
Agree.
I guess it's very important that we have a very understanding, very caring,
Mhm.
and a very passionate leader who supported
Agree.
us and who established the organization in the first place.
Mhm.
And just hearing from her, I say I couldn't fail her, I couldn't fail my mentor, I couldn't fail my baby, I couldn't fail my family, and I couldn't fail myself. So you just need to continue, exert effort, you need effort, It's just not your own knowledge. You need effort as well. And you need to have a good support system. And that is
Correct.
PICQ.
Agree. Couldn't agree more. And so, Eric, your final statement for tonight?
Yeah. Basically for today, I have learned a lot that challenges, hurdles may be there, but it's the way and how each every one of us transform these challenges into an opportunity to learn, relearn, and succeed in our quest, not only in our professional career or journey, but also basically holistically. Um, as part of our being. And this is also a challenge, maybe perhaps to all members of the PICQS and all professionals out there, that PICQS leadership team are continuously developing our systems, our ways to support every members possible. And the PICQS will not thrive or will not become successful um, by or from the officers alone. So we need the help of every members to basically become the ambassadors of our profession. So this is not just about the officers leading the way, but it is basically every one of us has the responsibility in our profession. And thank you very much for having me again for the patch, and I'm looking forward to more engagements with Patch and with the rest of the team. Thank you very much, thank you very much, and for basically for all our viewers. So thank you, and stay tuned to our social media platforms and all activities of the PICQS for the 2022 and the following year. So we have a lot in store. We have a lot of
Correct.
activities. We just had the management board meeting a while ago, and I'm very excited to answer our the needs of our members.
Okay. Oh, before we go, there was just a question that was raised by Don Don Tabernilla. Is P3T open for non-members of PICQS? Okay, Don Don, we have been discussing about it in the management board meeting. Currently, it is open for PICQS members because
Members.
through the website of PICQS, you can apply online to become a member, and these structured trainings are available for the members. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but we are not since you are hungry for more knowledge and the standard means of how you practice the profession. PICQS also provides, partnership with different
Mm-hmm.
agencies and with different schools, even authorities like TESDA and private companies like Rockwell. So we provide training. So PICQS also collaborates with these agencies and companies to provide trainings for their employees. But stay tuned because year round we have a number of global CPDs which can also enhance your the knowledge or provides you training or seminars on related to quantity surveying like what we're gonna have next week Friday
Mm-hmm.
26th of February about data center and its cost. So we hope to see you there, Don Don. Thank you very much. So there you have it. That's another hour and a half of patch with all of you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in and thank you very much for being a part of it. As you know, PICQS or patch or PICQS APC Talks channel or patch is here for you to share with you the latest about APC and the APC journey of our corporate members. So take something. I hope that in this 1.5 hour you were able to take away something from it and challenge yourself and go for it. So that's it, guys. So this is our 10th session for Patch. And have a good weekend and see you again next month. Thank
See
you.
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you,
Thank you
everyone.
so much,
Thank you,
Anthea. And we'll
everyone.
see you again in the next different session hopefully that time you will be able to share a gist of your case study this time.
Mhm.
Yes.
We are going to look forward to it. So thank you everyone
Yeah,
and
thank
have
you.
a good weekend. Okay, bye.
Yeah, have a great day
Bye,
ahead.
Join
everyone.
your hosts AJ Paredes and Eric Butlick for another session of PICQS APC Talks Channel. Patch as engineer Anthea Valdez joins the virtual studio all the way from Singapore. We will share with you the pathway of becoming a certified professional, the importance of structured trainings, as well as Thea's own APC journey firsthand. Exciting things await you all on Saturday, 19 February, 8 p.m. Manila time. See you!